All right, good morning, everybody. Memorial Day morning. This morning, I wanted to do an update on the RMax. It is broke again. Real quick, 400 miles on it right now, approximately 33 hours on the unit. We took it on a ride. There's a local park here. It's pretty big. It's 400-acre park. It's pretty extreme riding. You can go around all the crazy stuff, but it is a good place to test a unit. I went out there with my dad. He's got a Defender, 2021 Defender, and we went out there riding, and I just followed him. So his stock Defender XMR, I was just kind of riding around with him, and we broke an axle. Let's cut to the chase. I don't know how well you guys can see that. It seems to me it's still together in there. You can't really see it, but I can pull that boot back. But what I think happened is I was going up a muddy, kind of a ditch, I guess, and I went through it, and when I come out of the other end of it, this driver's side front tire was off the ground. I did have it in four-wheel drive, low with the diff lock, because I had tried to come through it 2 or 3 times, and it didn't make it. I was bottoming out, and then it would just slide back down the hill. It was not really crazy. I had seen 2 or 3 units go through it already. So I could have made it if I would have hit the gas really, really hard, but I was trying to avoid that because I was hitting my bottom of the machine. But anyway, what I think happened is this tire here was not touching the ground, and with the diff lock, it hit the ground and it just tore it up. So it's still connected, it still works, but I think the actual knuckle bearings, I think is what they call those things. There's ball bearings inside of there, and it kind of goes into a knuckle. I think at one point in time there was some stress on this axle, and it pulled it away from the hub, and one of those bearings come out or popped or whatever. But as you can see, it looks like the whole axle slid out, twisted. Because when it first happened, this boot was twisted way up. But regardless, it is definitely broke. It's going back. Some updates on the warranty issue, because if you guys have watched any of my other videos, I did lose the transmission at 2 hours. You can go back and watch that if you want to hear about all that. Transmission's been fine. Everything else has been fine as far as the machine is concerned. I have been hearing some drive line clicking when I get on the gas and let off the gas, and it can be as light as you want to, it can be as heavy as you want to, but I still hear this clicking sound when I'm getting on the gas and letting off the gas, and it's every time. And I'm starting to wonder, it was coming from the front of the machine, I'm starting to wonder if that axle may have had an issue beforehand. I'm not sure, but anyway, it's broken. I just wanted to give everybody an update. I'd seen on a forum that somebody had a broken axle, and he was doing the exact same thing I was, and some people were chiming in on him and saying, oh, you can't do this with your diff lock, or you can't do that with your diff lock. I don't know about that. So this is a stock unit running stock tires. I should be able to put it in four-wheel drive and diff lock or whatever and nail it, and it shouldn't break. Not realistically. I wasn't doing anything crazy. I wasn't running real high RPM. I think it's one of those growing pains on a new machine. Yamaha's never had a machine with this kind of horsepower other than the YXZ, and for the most part, I'm assuming that this machine's just it's a different animal. It's going to be doing different things than the YXZ was doing. So we'll see what comes of it. Still waiting on tires. I can't put my aftermarket wheels on there. The BFGs are still back ordered. I'm thinking about changing the size to a 31-10-50 if they'll work with my wheels to get a little bit more ground clearance. I'm also looking at, instead of trying to lift this thing, I may adjust my suspension some, get some of the height out of this shock. If I do a 31-10-50, that'll give me more or less an inch. And then I'm going to try to get maybe an inch out of the suspension. There's plenty there, so I don't think that'll be an issue. A lot of the places we were riding, this machine just ate it up. It was doing fantastic. The problem I was running into is the ground clearance. And although this machine has really good ground clearance, when you start talking about Can-Ams and Polarises that have 32-inch tires on them, they can just go more places. So Well, we'll see what comes of it. Anybody got any questions, let me know. We'll talk to you later.